Hey, what's up everybody? How's it going? It's your boy The Legend here. Gonna show you around the World Waterpark here at the West Edmonton Mall. This thing is an amazing place, guys. This is the largest indoor water park in the entire North American continent. I'm pretty sure in the Western Hemisphere. I know there's one in Germany that's bigger, but I think that might be it. But this thing is insane. It is really, it's like a full-size water park just built indoors in what appears to be like an airplane hangar. This place is amazing. In this video, we're gonna show you all the different water slides and features and amazingness that is the World Waterpark. All right, let's get started. So here is the entrance to the World Waterpark in West Edmonton Mall. It's got this awesome shark surfing statue on top. The entrance to the water park is a little bit weird because not only do you go through the locker room, you go through the men's locker room and the women's locker room, then you go through the bathroom, and then you physically walk through the showers. Yes, like shower heads on both sides. And then once you're through the showers, then you go around a corner and boom, you're in this hallway and you're in the water park. Also, I gotta love these little fish guys and this great photo op they have once you get inside the water park. But the shower thing, kind of weird. Now we're going to take a look at the map of World Waterpark to sort of give you an idea of how this park is laid out. And you can see easily that most of the park is taken up by that giant, massive wave pool in the right-hand side. And also the other obvious thing for the map is that pretty much 90% of the slides all come off of that one giant slide tower on the left-hand side. Which, while it makes for an incredible pictures and an amazing structure and a spectacle, it's not the easiest thing to get around because you're not really sure which stairs lead to which slide. Also, while all the slides have different names and each stairway tells you, hey, go up this stairway to get to this slide, unfortunately, unless you're really familiar at the water park, you have no idea which slide's which. Like, I could not tell you which one is Nessie's Revenge and which one is Typhoon Twister. So while I wish, they had the signs with the names, I wish they would also have a picture of what that slide looked like so I would know, okay, I'm going up these stairs, I'm going to that one. That one there, that one on the picture. As you enter World Waterpark, this is the view you're greeted with. On the left-hand side there's going to be a kids splash area with a tipping bucket and some small scale slides for the kids. And on the right, you go past this pathway with this great Easter Island heads, and this will take you up to the bulk of the water park. And like most modern water parks, they're big on the cabanas, and here you could rent your own private cabana if you want a little more space. Now let's start talking about some of the amazing water slides and attractions that World Waterpark has to offer. Starting first with my personal favorite thing in the water park, and that is slideboarding. Slideboarding is a mix between a water slide and a video game, and it is awesome. This is something we've seen at IAPA for like 3 or 4 years in a row now. We've always been wild with it, and it lived up to the hype. It was so cool. You get to see your score on this screen here at the end, showing you which targets you hit, which targets you didn't hit, gives you your score. Also, this is how it works. You have 4 buttons, 2 on your right side, 2 on your left side, and you have to hit them as you go down the slide. And it's sort of like Guitar Hero. If you're familiar with the game Guitar Hero, you go by a red light, you got to hit the red button. You go by a blue light, you got to hit a blue button. And it is awesome. And you also get to save your score, and it's fantastic. So when you ride the first time, if you're level 1, if you do well, you'll be bumped up to level 2. So the first time you might only have red and green. The second time you might have red, green, blue. It is so cool. And also you get to save your music. So I chose to ride it with 80s music, and the first time I got to listen to Eye of the Tiger, and the second time I got to listen to Wake You Up Before You Go-Go, and this is like the most repeatable water slide I've ever seen. And that's the good. Unfortunately, the bad, it doesn't work very well. I don't know if it was the boards or the technology, but between the 3 of us, we went down 6 times, and everything only worked about half the time. So we got 3 good rides and 3 not good rides. So either we didn't get scores, or there was no music, or something went wrong half the time. It's a great feature, but there is definitely some maintenance issues and concerns with it. Now, one cool thing also, they do have a scoreboard outside the attraction where it shows you, the top scores of the day, who's got the most rides of the year, and this is fantastic. Again, with this being a locals park, it really is incredibly re-rideable. I wish they would have these at more water parks. Now, one of the biggest draws about World Waterpark, or any water park for that matter, are the speed slides. And World Waterpark is no exception. They have 5, more traditional speed slides, all in the same area, all with kind of a similar run-out pattern, and they are right here. Taking a look at them, 3 of them are your Dropbox style slides, including the most famous of them, the Aqua Loop, which is the big purple one. This is a special slide because, first of all, it starts with the Dropbox. If you haven't seen these kind of things, you're in this glass coffin, they close the door, 3, 2, 1, and then the floor drops out from under you, and you just rock it right into that slide. And the cool thing about the Aqua Loop is it goes uphill a little bit for the loop. It's not a true traditional loop like you would think about on a roller coaster, but you do go uphill and you do spin around. So it is what they call the Aqua Loop, and that is a crazy looking slide. I wussed out on this. I was not a fan of the Dropbox or speed slides, but Drew and Clay did that, and they both said it was wild. Also, there's sort of a hatch in case you would get stuck and don't make it around the loop. So when you go around the hatch part, you get hit with this giant blast of air just from the pressure differential from inside the slides. Also, you got two traditional Dropbox slides there, one that's enclosed, and then the yellow one, which is enclosed at the start and then not enclosed at the bottom. But actually, one of my favorite slides in the entire water park are those two purple slides over there. And they might not look like much, but let me tell you, the thing about these slides is you get airtime. Yes, airtime you think of like on a roller coaster, but you get that on a water slide. It's sort of 3 humps, and you start out with the first hump and it's fun. You go down the second hump and you're like, man, did I come off the slide? And by the time you get to that third hump at the bottom, you fly off the slide and just boom, thump right down on the slide. It is crazy. It's one of the wildest water slides I've ever been on. And it doesn't look like much. It looks like, that might be okay. But when you go on, it's like, man, that thing is nuts. So those dueling airtime slides, those purple racing slides, those are some of my favorites in the entire water park. Do not miss them. And if you're a thrill seeker, those Dropbox slides are amazing as well. The next slide we're going to show off is an institution at many water parks, and that is the toilet bowl. And man, I love these water slides. It is fast, crazy, fun, wild, a little bit different each time. And I think this one's called Typhoon Twister here at World Waterpark, and it's great. You started on this blue straight tube, and there's really no curves at all. It's just a straight, rather steep tube, and by the end you get really, really flying, and then you drop into the big bowl here, and you spin around a couple of times, take a couple of revolutions around the bowl, and the best part is you just fall through the hole, just like a poop in the toilet, into the deep water swimming area. Great slide. Now here we have these blue twisting body speed slides, and these guys are not one we got to do while we were there, just because they're not my personal favorite slide. I don't like the kind of claustrophobia and fear of drowning that you get in the tiny little tube slides. But again, like a lot of the slides here at World Waterpark, it's a very long-looking water slide, very twisted, very wild and crazy. And if you're into that kind of thing, this is definitely a water slide for you. Here we have the tipping bucket water fortress area, like you see at a lot of water parks. Always fun, these things, lots of things for the kids to run around and play on, a couple of smaller scale slides, and of course, the standing under the tipping bucket's always an absolute blast. One of the more interesting things here is that it's one of the few things for kids to do at World Water Park, as a lot of the slides are rather more intense. So if you have smaller kids, say maybe 7 and under, this is probably where you'll be spending a bulk of your time, because a lot of those slides are really, really intense. So right there, dead ahead of us, that's just an abandoned slide structure from an old slide. There were a couple of these in the park. I just thought that was weird. Then we have this big old green slide here. Actually a pretty fun slide. Not too intense, but pretty fun. Cool, definitely looks cool. A cool visual slide. Also, it's another one of these slides at the water park where it was it's a really big, wide slide, so I think it was probably built for tubes, but now they run it as a body slide. So it's definitely kind of fun to go on a body slide and really be able to move around. Now, what we're going to talk about here is Tsunami, and that is the park's flow rider attraction. And unfortunately, like most water parks, Tsunami here at the World Water Park, it is an upcharge attraction. So depending on what package you get, it could be anywhere from, $10, I think it's for 3 rides, and then you could do more with packages with half an hours and hours or all day. So unfortunately, it's not a free attraction. But with it not being a free attraction, you get good people doing it. Like this guy here is ridiculously good. If you've not been on one of these things before, they are very, very difficult. There he goes. They're really fun. I do recommend it, but not quite at that price. We talked about slide boarding earlier, that multicolored rainbow slide. That is the slide boarding one on the right-hand side. And those big white slides that go all the way from the top, they exit out right here. But you can definitely tell the slide boarding one looks much, much newer than the rest of them. And then another shot of those big green slides here. Obviously, again, cool slides. One of the absolute stars of the show here, and something you recognize as soon as you get into World Water Park, and that is the absolutely massive wave pool. This thing's gigantic. It takes up, a good, 2/3 of the park, half the park, in this gigantic wave pool. And it's a wave pool. Wave pools are fun. It's an older wave pool. So you definitely, you can tell it's not one of the newer wave pools, so it definitely gets rather deep as you go out farther. Some of the waves are pretty strong, so it's fun. And actually, one of the coolest things, we went by this at night in the evening time, and on certain evenings they'll obviously do surf lessons where they let people bring their surfboards in, and even though it's like, negative 10 degrees outside there in Edmonton, you could go surfing if you had the money and you wanted to. So wave pools are fun, this is no different, and the surfing thing was pretty neat. Up next at World Waterpark is the Hurricane, which is essentially a human hamster ball. This thing looks silly, but it's actually really, really intense and wild. You go in there, you hop in the little hole, they fill it with water, and you just run around. And it's super intense. Like, I fell on my head, I fell on my shoulder. If you crank this thing to a full blast, it is really, really challenging. It's fun. Actually, it might be more fun to watch. Like, my buddies had a blast watching me go through there, and I didn't get a lot of footage through there because like little kids doing it. I don't want to film little kids. That's weird. But the Hurricane, really, really fun. Now it's time to talk about Sunrunner. Sunrunner is interesting for two reasons. One, it is the only water slide that is on the other side of the wave pool at World Waterpark. So everything is attached on the other side of the wave pool to that giant structure. This one is on the opposite side of the wave pool. It's also interesting because it is a tube slide, and the only tube slide in the entire water park. And it's super fun because you could go triple tube. So we put me, Clay, and DrewTheIntern all in one tube, and that was a lot of man in one tube. Now, the other real interesting thing about Sunrunner is that to get to Sunrunner, which is that nice yellow-looking slide right there, it was built over some older water slides, I think 2 or 3 older water slides. And when they built Sunrunner, they just sort of left these old water slides. So there's the old water slides. They end nowhere. And you could see the old water slides. It's really, really bizarre. Now, some of these old water slides, I gotta say, they look pretty cool. Like, check this thing out. This thing right here, it looks like it went down a whirlpool-type spiral and then down a poop chute kind of thing. And then there's Sunrunner up there, obviously built at a higher level and a much more modern-looking slide. But just weird that they just left these old slides laying around. Kind of felt like, hey, should I be up here? Should there be somebody letting me onto this thing? Because it looks like they get turned on. Now I'm going to talk to you guys about the Sky Flyer Zipline. And this is another upcharge attraction here at the water park. And it's kind of cool. One, it was only like $7, but it's a zipline that takes you all the way across the giant wave pool. It looked kind of neat, but not something we did. And actually, the entire couple hours we were at World Waterpark, we didn't see a single person do the zipline. But if you're a fan of ziplines, they've got one for you, and it was like $7. But the prices change depending on time of day and day of the week, so check the website. So another odd, quirky thing about World Waterpark is that sitting on the edge of the wave pool is this giant blue steel structure, which apparently they used to use for bungee jumping. Now they use for absolutely nothing, and it's just sitting there looking weird at the edge of the wave pool. So kind of odd this is just standing there. Now, one thing that really surprised me about World Waterpark, I had no idea about this coming in, the park offers free Coca-Cola freestyle machines. So anytime you want a soda or water throughout the day, it's completely free. You just got to go to the Coke machines, which are sort of in the middle of the park, underneath the giant slide structure. And then, boom, free soda. You know, that really helps when you're going all the way up and down those giant stairs. And that'll do it for our tour and review here of the World Waterpark in the West Edmonton Mall. Gotta say, love this place, man. This was my favorite. Out of all the attractions we did at the mall, the World Waterpark was definitely my favorite. It's also my favorite indoor water park I've ever been to. Definitely the highlights are slide boarding, that crazy airtime slide, and the wacky hamster ball thing. And overall, it was just a great time. I really enjoyed it. I highly recommend this place. If you have any questions or comments about World Waterpark, just let me know in the comment section below. I'll do my best to answer any questions you got. Guys, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe. We show videos from theme parks and tourist attractions all over the world. So thank you guys for watching.